I need to do. And of course, I don't need to be held hostage by my thoughts or my feelings. I have been able to become the observer. That doesn't mean it works all the time for me. I mean, sometimes I get caught in doing things I don't like to do.
Right. We're
I go,
all in
oh no,
process.
I go, no, I did it again.
We're all
And,
in process. Yeah.
and
There are a couple of things that I want to talk about.
sure,
One is war. One of the things that I really learned from you, which is actually pretty obvious, I guess, but I don't think most of us think about this, that we are all players in war. That all of us have a responsibility in
absolutely.
war. It's not just the soldiers, it's not just the generals, it's not just the government, but that
Mhm.
we all play a part in this, and that we all have you wrote something like, we all possess the seeds of violence, the seeds of war, and that non-veterans are also responsible. And can you talk about a little bit about that? Because I think that's something that we could all really benefit from.
Let me use, what I'll do is I'll use alcohol as an example. And if people want to study with me, or let's say I talk about how intoxicants get in the way of really awakening to the truth that life is communicating to us all the time. And that if we want to really wake up, that we need to stop taking intoxicants, the obvious ones first. Stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking cigarettes, start there, and then see what grows, what is added to that list. And people will say, and I'll ask a question, say, all right, how many people in this group drink alcohol? And probably 80% of any group will raise their hand. And I will say, it's important to understand that one of the other reasons that I invite people to stop drinking alcohol is that if I buy a bottle of alcohol, whatever it might be, then I am supporting the industry that produces it. And that then leads to my responsibility for every person who's ever killed or maimed or in an alcohol-related accident, for every child that's abused by an alcoholic parent, for every wife that's abused by an alcoholic spouse, for every man who's abused by an alcoholic spouse. I'm responsible for that. And I need to be willing. I can't just dismiss it, because intellectually, I mean, I can intellectually go, that's way too, people will say that's too much, man. It's like not true. It's not really true. It's one glass of wine, man. It doesn't mean it. But I had to be willing to see that interconnected reality, which I'm a part of, and understand that my actions are not isolated. They have an interconnected impact throughout the world. So to another example, people will come up to me routinely when they discover that that I've served in the military, and they'll say, "Thank you for your service." And I tell you, it's like, for me, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. And I used to sort of ignore it in the past. I mean, really, the feelings that would rise up in me is that, like, I would want to educate them. I want to say, hey, look, do you know what you're thanking me for, right? You're thanking me for burning down villages. You're thanking me for killing everything in sight. You're thanking me for kicking in doors. You're thanking me for all of that. Like, that's not really something to be thanked for. So I would want to lay that out on people. And what I've done is I understand it, yet they don't understand. And it's not really possible. I mean, I've done that a couple times, and I can see how people just recoil from that. They can't hear it.
They don't want to
It's
hear it. It's like
well,
you don't want to
it,
hear the bad part over there. You just want to hear the valor part or whatever, the idea of it.
yes, the Greeks use a word, themis. It's the veil of reality we create around ourselves to keep ourselves safe. So when they say thank you for their service, they have all sorts of ideas about what that means and what war is all about. They have all these ideas, but they don't really want to know the truth of it. So the moment someone speaks the truth of it and penetrates that veil of themis, they can't. They just shut down. People just shut down. For the most part, they shut down or they get aggressive, because then their whole worldview is somehow threatened. And so if somebody wants to have a conversation about that, I'm willing to have it. I don't impose myself on people today when they say that. I just go, you're welcome. But it is true. We all have a part in the propagation of a war culture, and my hope is that people will wake up to that. That being